Welcome to the Why Not podcast with me, Chrissy Hawkins. In a world where everybody asks you why, I'm here to ask why not. So sit back and relax or walk and listen and join me on this journey as we try to answer this never-ending question: what makes people say, why not? Hi guys, welcome back to Why Not. So I've been saving this episode for a while and I thought I just can't keep the secret anymore. And this is why today I am going to give you that one thing that will guarantee weight loss forever. Are you ready for this? I hope you enjoy. Hi guys, welcome back to Why Not. So I'm imagining you may be listening to this episode because you read the title, which is do this thing to lose weight for good. And if that is the only reason you're listening to this, one, you don't know me that well. I'm joking. And two, you've just fallen for more clickbait. And these kind of clickbait titles and sales pitches that you see all over Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and ads and all this are just ways of getting people to part with their money with no intention of them actually getting the end result. So I think, personally, I've seen the craziest things over the last while. You show pictures and it's like, do this fast if you're this age and you want to lose this much body weight, or put your age and weight you want to lose into this app and we'll tell you how much you need to walk to learn it. Or I've seen things like, put this plaster or a sticky thing over your belly button and it will suck all the toxins out of your body and you'll get skinny. I'm going to tell you now, straight away, if you do not think they are bullshit, which you should, because I think even the belly one is really ridiculous, they are bullshit. Now, can you lose a certain amount of weight by walking? Yeah, you can lose as much as you want, really, a lot of the time by walking, but you mightn't actually be able to get to the weight you're looking for. You might not be physically possible. Secondly, is this how much I'm not saying there's anything wrong with walking. I still want to say that. How much time in the day are you going to be able to spend walking? Is it going to tell you have to do 2 hours of walking a day? Are you going to have that time? Is that including what you eat around it as well? So these are all things that people see, they say, oh, this is this, without taking into account that you may need to eat more, you may not have time, so it could be a goal that's not sustainable. Another thing with this fasting, you can't just say just because you're this age blanket you need to go, this is your fast. There is multiple different studies on fasting and how it affects the body. People are all over the shop on it. I have nothing against it. If you want to do it, you do you, but just because you're a certain age, you're a certain weight, or you're a certain gender, it's not necessarily going to affect you on this blanket thing that you get on these apps. And these are constantly chasing these quick fixes and easy way out are the reason that you've never been able to sustain the weight loss that you got in the first place. Or maybe you never got the weight loss, maybe you didn't even make it to your goal, which is not a failure on you, it's a failure on what the method you were doing. We always quick to blame ourselves, but it's actually not us, it's the method that's the problem. If something requires you to do 3 hours exercise a day and you have a 9-to-5 job and a family, it's going to be very hard to do that. And even if you can do it over a certain period of time, you're not going to be able to maintain that over a sustained period of time without other areas of your life suffering, like your sleep or your kids or your job. Again, so that's another problem we find with these 6 week extreme transformations. People are going on crazy low calories, training like bejesus, they drop the weight and they always rebound. But the thing is, obviously these things sell because, well, who wants to hear everything in moderation will help you to your goal? Nobody wants to hear that. Everyone wants to know how they can do it yesterday. No one ever got skinny from eating a single salad, okay? Which is just the exact same as you didn't get fat from that one burger. Not saying you're fat. Maybe you've got some excess body weight that you don't want. Totally fine. However, that didn't happen overnight. This happened over a course of months, years maybe. And the only way to go the opposite way is to spend equal amount of time in trying to get it. And the fact that you keep trying to rush that process or trying to find an easy way out, it's the reason that you aren't getting to where you want to be. So it's a little bit of tough love here. But what can we do instead of constantly chasing fat loss or weight loss if that's what you want to do? Well, maybe you have to kind of pivot and start trying other things, because obviously, like, you see these people who do these 6-week transformations or these detoxes, and they do them again and again because they worked. But if they work, you don't have to go. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to do it again. So if it had worked, you'd be grand. So maybe now it's time to let's change some tact. You're going to have to maybe employ a bit more patience and look at a different way of exercising or training for yourself. Do you want to do walking? Absolutely fine. You keep walking. But maybe instead of doing 1 big hour a day, try and do 2 10 minutes a week or a day. Sorry, not a week. Break it down into time that you have. Can you get up from your desk at lunchtime and go for a walk? Probably. Most people don't. If you're working from home, can you have your lunch and then go for a little walk? Probably. So why aren't we doing that? The weather's getting good now. The excuses are leaving. That's one thing you can do. Do you like to train in the gym? Can you set yourself a new goal? Can we go, okay, instead of trying to lose weight this week, I want to be able to do a push-up, or I want to be able to do a pull-up, or I want to deadlift my body weight, or squat my body weight, or something like that. If you are training, you want to have little mini goals like that, because now the focus has gone on something else. What can you do? I can do something I was never able to do before. I can add more weight than I thought I could do. These are now positive. We're no longer focused on the weight loss and taking everything away. We're focused on what we can do for ourselves to make ourselves feel good. And anyone who's ever trained weights and has gotten into the weight lifting buzz, it is an unreal feeling when you do a lift that you didn't think you'd be able to. And it's the exact same when I find when even in coaching with classes with people, like I tell them you can do this. They're like, oh no, I can't. I'm like, go on and do it, you can. And when they do it, they're so surprised and they're so happy that they've done it, that this completely like overrules the likes of weight loss. Yes, most people join the gym to lose weight. I joined the gym to lose weight originally. Now I don't track, but that was a long battle. There was a time in my life where I was 46 kilos. I'm currently 12 kilos heavier, and that was a really bad time in my life. I'd gone through my first big breakup, so I wasn't eating great. I was intensely doing cardio, and I was almost skin and bone, to be honest. And at the time I was like, yay, I'm finally skinny, I'm finally where I want to be. And now I look at pictures and I'm like, oh Jesus. And I think a lot of us, even maybe we idolize these pictures of our bodies from before and how they looked and how you want to look like that again. But look at yourself, even remember back then, you know, like, were you stressed? Were you enjoying your life? Did you have kids? Is another one. Like, you know, our bodies will change when we have children, and that can go for moms and dads, but more so the moms will be affected by. But yeah, so then you didn't have kids, you had more time to do things. Maybe you should focus now, instead of trying to get back to that, getting into a state that you can go out and play football with your kids, or you can lift them up no matter what age they are. Well, you know, 15-year-old might be hard to lift, but you know, the kind of goals that are going to actually benefit your life and make you feel better on the inside and outside, rather than aesthetically pleasing. Not that you can't get aesthetically pleasing from training, you know. And do be honest with yourself. If you are looking at those photos, like, what were you like at the time? Can you remember that time? How did you feel? And I'll tell you now, at the time I was 46 kilos, as soon as I kind of got through that rough patch, for want of a better description, I started eating normally again. I stopped training and doing crazy amounts of cardio, and I put on a load of weight. So, I almost kind of rebounded the complete opposite direction. And that's because the way I was living was not sustainable. Probably the fact that I wasn't eating that much. Now, I have a problem when I get anxious, I don't have an appetite. But the fact that I wasn't eating wasn't probably helping my anxious state. It can end up being like a, one of those self-fulfilling prophecies where you get anxious because you're hungry, or you're not eating, but you're not hungry because you're anxious. So, in a way, you're kind of fueling that fire. But then obviously as things got better, I got back to myself. It was a lot easier. And then, as I said, I put on a lot of weight. I put on more than I maybe had before I started being intensely skinny. And then obviously over time, like, your weight is going to fluctuate. Different things are going to affect your body. Girls, sometimes you will just be retaining water. Obviously, if you have a kid, something can happen. If your life's very stressful, some people gain weight, some people lose weight. You may not be having time with work that you have to don't get to eat as well as you'd wanted to. So maybe you're just grabbing things on the go, and you're maybe not getting time to go to the gym like you like to, or play sports or anything. And these are all normal times. And I think if you are crazy busy with stuff, sometimes you just have to take a step back and go, okay, what do I need to prioritize right now? I don't have time to spend an hour in the gym. Can I go for a half-hour walk just to get my head out of work? It doesn't necessarily have to be for the weight loss or the fat loss. It could be just, I need a break, a mental health break. If you've got a new kid or a kid on the way, these are things you're going to have to adjust for. Obviously, I have heard the sleep deprivation when you have a new child is amazingly fun. But can you, with your partner, can you guys take turns so one of you can get out for some fresh air or do whatever? Or if you're you don't have a partner, is there someone that you could come down and even just have a mind of the baby for an hour or so while you get out and get some fresh air and get a walk? Because that's another thing that we take for granted when it comes to exercise. Yes, it does increase endorphins, makes us feel good. But again, sometimes you just need that break from everything. And that's why, going back to the walking can be great. Maybe yours is a run. Obviously, if you've just had a child, you do have to wait a couple of weeks and should get cleared by a female physio. Just want to say that in there. I'm not telling any new mothers to go out for a run. But find things that you can do for you that'll help you kind of have a mental break from things, And people just constantly associate exercise and any form of that with a way to lose weight, when you forget it can actually just be some you time. It can be a break, as I said, a little mental break. It can be so much more than just a trick to lose weight. So do make sure you utilise it for all of its other strengths too, as opposed to just solely going for weight loss, because that's why we end up with these negative connotations. People hate the gym because they went to these horrible classes that they never actually enjoyed, but they were going because they thought they needed to, or their holiday was coming up and they wanted to look a certain way. And then as soon as that's over, they never want to go back again. And then any time they rejoin, it's always for this negative reason of, I need to lose weight for this by now, and if I don't do that, I'm a failure and I hate this anyway. And you can never really be enthusiastic about going to something that you feel like you have to do, not because you're choosing to do it. And I think we forget that, which is really, really sad, because you can have a lot of fun, I'm going to use that term lightly, going to the gym by getting the right place, getting the right trainer, because not all coaches or trainers are the same. So if you are with the wrong trainer, you're obviously going to struggle to enjoy what you're doing. But even if you don't like big gyms, because the big massive, super gyms may not be for you, maybe find a small gym. Like the gym I work in is a semi-private gym. We do classes and we do one-to-one and group training, and the people in these gyms make friends. So they actually really enjoy going. There are people here who just have the chats in classes, and you know to pair up. They all start talking, and it's not like, I suppose it helps the workout go past, and they are benefiting themselves and helping themselves be fitter, stronger, and while having fun. Now, they will complain, don't get me wrong. They will give out to me, they will say they hate the exercise, they hate that exercise, and I'll tell them they don't have to like it. But they'll still be enjoying themselves, because if they weren't, they wouldn't be coming back. And these are people, our clients have been, we have ones from years, we've had ones from months, and all different types of people. And I think that's one of the problems with the bigger gyms, is they can be very, very intimidating, feel very faceless. But there's plenty of places out there that you can find them up, look them up on Instagram or social media or even on the internet. Find the small gyms, ones with a couple of trainers, see what you think feels nice to you when you're reading their bios, and then go try them out, because a lot of places will give you a free trial of a class. So why not make use of that? And then you can get an idea of, is this a place for you? If you still hate it by the end of it, that's fine. You don't have to come back. You might find it, you actually enjoyed it more because it was a different style of training. And when I talk about these, I've said it before, your training or exercise never has to be, it doesn't have to be gym based. It doesn't have to be running, because so many people run and I think they don't actually like running, but they think that's the best way to lose weight, so they run. And they run for so long and then they stop because they don't actually like it. And it's the same thing with the gym. Maybe you can find a yoga class or a Pilates class or some form of dance fitness class. Like, these are all things that people do and still are very, very fit from. Like, I know someone who does aerial hoop and pole dancing classes. She's an instructor of it, and she's so strong, and she can lift her body weight no bother, and you see all this kind of gymnastic moves. And now obviously she's an instructor, so she's done it for a long time, but that doesn't mean you can't go in and learn how to be super strong this way. And it's no better or worse than going to the gym. It's about, as I said, finding something you enjoy, because when you enjoy it, you come back to it. And then coupled with these different goals of, maybe you're trying to do a pull-up, maybe you're trying to, maybe you do want to run, maybe you want to run a 5k or a 10k or a half marathon, and you can set these goals and build your stamina through them all, and by the end of it you'll feel great again. And the thing is, when this happens, oftentimes a byproduct is weight loss, but you are no longer focused on that. So you feel leaner, you feel stronger, you look better in your clothes, you just feel great, and you no longer care about how you look weight-wise, or how much you weigh, for want of a better description. So I think if you can move the focus away from weight loss for once and for all, you will see huge differences, and you probably will actually lose weight and keep it off for the first time. You'll probably join something that you actually enjoy, as opposed to going because you think you need to. And you might find some friends and a community that you didn't realise was there because you never tried looking for it before. And these are the things that are more important than weight loss. Everything's more important than weight loss. Sorry. Unless you are so heavy that, not heavy, if you've so much body fat that it's now detrimentally affecting your health, obviously that weight loss can be very important then. But again, that's to take your own time. You can make huge strides by doing a bit of walking, pardon the pun. There's so many ways of doing it. You can even affect weight loss by changing your diet. You know, if you really want to, you just need to lower your calories. It's not easy, but it's not as complicated as the internet would like you to make it. But also it's not as simple as the internet would like you to think. So that's a mindfuck for you, isn't it? So with that, I'm going to leave you ponder. What are you going to do now instead of chasing weight loss? What is there something you've always wanted to try but you've never done it? Like, there is clubs for every sport. So just not saying you can't find something. There's even walking clubs. So have a little ponder. Ponder my last sentence as well, saying it's not as easy, but it's not as difficult, but it's actually not as easy. See if you can understand what I'm coming from there, because I know what I mean there, but I don't know if you guys will. And with that, I am going to leave you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this will help you reframe a little bit what way you think you should do things, or think of new ways of doing things, that you no longer put the pressure on yourself in the same way as you has before. And hopefully you'll find some enjoyment out of exercise and you'll get the results you want, but it'll be a case that you never care, and you don't care. You're just enjoying yourself now. So, if you want to find me, I'm on Instagram as Chrissy H Fitness. I also have a horsey Instagram. It's _strong_in_the_saddle. There's a TikTok there as well, which is strong in the saddle. And if you want to find out more about working with me, either online or in a group way, or even in person, you'll find me on www.chrissyhawkins.com. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. I really do appreciate everybody who listens to this podcast. So if you please could help me with the algorithm and leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And even, if you want to reach out and suggest topics for me, I'd be delighted to hear from you. Drop me a DM on Instagram or TikTok. And thanks again for listening.